y'all. Reading, I failed reading in the 4th grade. Okay, I'm gonna be real honest. I failed reading in the 4th grade, and I see letters, and I just say what I think it is. What's happening, y'all? Coach K here, and you're tuned in to DIY Traveler, where I share my experiences with entrepreneurship. And we are on day number 10 of the 15-day introduction to 75 over easy. And we off to a rough start. We already haven't had the same breakfast, which is rule number 1. I traded in the eggs for hamburger patty today. I need a little bit more iron in my system. But I'm going to be working on this visual. All right, so this is how it all turned out. This is the one that I reprinted, and it was going to be on a sticker like this, and it was going to be in line with these other ones, and we were going to put the sticky notes over here, but I didn't really like the spacing, and I chose to put this material here so we can put stickers on it, and this poster can actually be reused. So you're just going to take the stickers off after each event. And so instead of using this one here, I swapped it out. And now I'm going to use a long one that goes across, cut that down, put that there. And then we're going to use the bottom area here to start the first sticky note. And then the next sticky note, you'll just staple it or tape it, and it'll be like a line of sticky notes and ideas. Then again, you can just rip that off at the end of whatever event that you're tabling, and then reuse this poster again. So let me get this all completed up so I can show you the final product. Today I did things a little bit in a different order because I needed to kind of refresh and revamp my schedule and how I was going about this challenge. So I decided to do my 1 hour of creating first thing when I woke up. I'm usually most alert, most creative, most attentive to what I'm doing earlier in the day. And this really worked out. 1, because I had a deadline for this to be completed. So I was able to go ahead and get it done first thing. And then the rest of my day, I could go ahead and run my errands because I had a lot to do on this day. And I wanted to make sure that I actually completed the challenge. So yeah, I'm going to show you how I use this thermal printer. So let's go over to that footage. I need to reprint one of these stickers that I made yesterday for the bottom half of this design. So I've changed the way that this is going to be on the document or on the poster that I'm creating for this nonprofit. And so I want it to go long way. So I want this to be all in one line. And so it's on 2 lines right now. So let's actually reprint it. And unfortunately, I did not save it. So I'm going to have to redo all these settings. So let's first turn it, rotate it. Oh, okay. I think they rotated it. Now see once I start typing. Yes, I need it to print out long ways from the printer. And I just need it to say, let's see. I have it saved. Yeah, need it to say that all on one line. So almost done for today, but which background do you think goes with this overall design? The colorful, multicolored question marks or the brown question marks? And I would make the brown ones a little thicker, or should they be black like the lettering, black and bold like the lettering? Let me know what you think. Of course, you'll see in the end what I chose. We'll see in just a moment. All right, so the client chose the brown, and I think this is a great choice because this community serves Black and brown customers and clients. So I'm going to go with the brown. It also fits with the aesthetic of sustainability and environmental justice. So this is what we're going with. Let's go. Here is the finished product. A lot of things changed from the moment that I started this to completion, and I love it. And that's one of the things I love about designing something or creating something is that whatever you start with, usually the vision in your head may not become the vision that you actually produce. For example, I asked you guys about these two options, and the client chose this option, right? And it turned into that, which absolutely love it. But it's all about being inspired throughout the entire process. So right now we're going to get into, because I did this a different order today, but we're going to talk about planning. And today we're moving into the A in SMART goals and decision making. So let's jump into that portion of the video. We're about to get into the main course of this video, and I'm going to keep saying day 9 this whole rest of the video. Just know this is day 10 of the 15-day introduction to this challenge. So let's go. What's happening, y'all? I gotta get my life together. Hold on, y'all. 1 second. All right, it's day 9. I know this is a very awkward angle, but give me one moment. I'm on my way. Actually, I gotta go to recycling, and that's all on the other end. There's another recycling place. Let's see if I can find my other recycling place where I live. But it's day 9, and we're talking about planning. We are on the A in SMART goals and decision making. And today's featured business is going to be our authors for the culture, Miss Quentesa. So let's get into what they had to say in their perspective on SMART goals. Finally made it to the recycling area. So let's get into. All right. Y'all, it's hot out here. And I'm going to give y'all a story time tomorrow when we talk about preparation as to how long it took me to get to this recycling area that I know exactly where it is. I know exactly where it is, but it took me a minute to get here. So, Authors for the Culture is founded by Miss Quentesa Price. I'm sorry, y'all. I failed reading in the 4th grade. Okay, I'm being real honest. I failed reading in the 4th grade. And I see letters and I just say what I think it is. I believe her last name is Pierce. Miss Quentesa Pierce. There we go. Put my thinking cap on and got it together. And she is the founder of Authors for the Culture, where she introduces and helps authors who just are trying to get a start or need a helping hand, basically authors of color and different things like that. So she puts on an annual Black Authors Book Fair, and I usually volunteer with that. That's how we actually came to know one another, and she is based in the North Carolina area. And what she has to say about SMART goals. S.M.A.R.T. SMART goals are relative. Okay? When teaching others about the principles of smart decision making and goal setting, I'd emphasize the importance of knowing who you are and how you operate. I do that by having them identify their primary and secondary learning styles, strengths, weaknesses, beliefs, and values. Then I would alter my approach accordingly. SMART goals can be a supplemental tool for some, a crutch for others, and a hindrance for a handful of people. So ultimately, my approach depends on the student. I love that. I'm going to piggyback off of some of the things she talked about as we get into the A of SMART goals, which is it achievable? Is it achievable? Let's see. Thank you, Ms. Quentesa, for that response. And are your goals achievable? Right? The decisions that you're making, are they achievable? And Ms. Quentesa said a lot of great things. I'm going to go back to the response that Tony gave and just say that if you don't know your why and your when, then those goals may not be achievable. So first and foremost, you got to know your why. You got to know your when. And then secondly, Miss Natasha came in and she shared the thought process of being able to measure your goals. Having SMART goals are useless if you're not tracking your progress and being able to measure that. And now Miss Quentesa adds to that by saying that not only do you have to know your why and your when, not only do you need to be able to measure it, but you got to know what are the qualifications, okay? What are the qualifications so that you know whether or not your goals are achievable? And those qualifications, in Quentesa's case, when it comes to teaching others, are as follows. You need to know their learning style, preferably their top 2 or 3, right? So that you have multiple ways to be able to share the information with them. This goes for your clients as well. You got to know what it is. First of all, you got to know who you are. And then you got to know what it is you offer to your clients and your customers, whether that's a service, whether that's a product. In addition to knowing who you are, what you offer, and all those things, you got to have a strategy of knowing how you're going to accomplish that. In this case, it's knowing your service offerings, the benefits of your services, the benefits of your products, what sets you apart from the competition, what sets you apart from others who may be offering the exact same things. Your perspective and your life experiences is what's going to get you in front of the people that you want to be able to service and who you want to provide the products that you have to. So that brings us to today, which is about planning. Over the last 2 days, you saw me work on a project from start to finish. Started on yesterday and I finished it today. And I thought it would be really important, which I didn't plan this. Ironically, I didn't plan this, but because I planned out everything that I will be talking about in my notebook, I'll show you on the screen here. Every day, I knew what I was going to be talking about every single day. I didn't know what I would be recording, and I didn't know specifically the marketing material that I'll be working on, but I had an idea, I had a plan, and then I allowed everything else to unfold how it would unfold, because you want to leave some room for error. You want to leave some room for things to go wrong. You want to leave some room for mistakes. You want to leave some room for emergencies. You want to leave some room to be flexible for whatever to happen in your life or in your business, for you to be able to still produce and not be taken out by the stumbling blocks or the roadblocks or the out of the blue circumstances that may happen. So I'm working with a nonprofit right now. They needed me to do some digital marketing for them. And as you can see, the digital marketing that I did for them is in alignment with some of the digital marketing that I've been doing for myself, because I've already been in the practice of doing this, that whenever they brought this to me, it kind of rolled over into what they needed, because they didn't have super specifics. They just knew that they wanted something that would draw attention, right, from the community members. And so I made a stop sign, essentially. My whole digital marketing rollout that you'll be getting on on July the 4th is all about stop signs. And stop signs have kind of come up several times throughout my career, throughout my academic career, as well as my professional career. And so stop signs are something that is meant to get your attention. It's meant to tell you to stop, pay attention to something, observe what's going on with that red light. Yellow light is meant to get you to yield, to slow down, to reevaluate, figure out what may be coming, what may happen, and the potential, the possibilities. And then green means go. That's the green light that says you are ready to move full steam ahead, because you got that plan in place. You are prepared. You have that strategy, and you're ready to make some shake. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you tomorrow for day 11.